Welcome back. It is day 184 of a road to 2200. We've actually not played chess in a couple days, despite, the videos coming out. I've taken a couple days off as suggested, but also just from being busy, from being exhausted. Even today, I'm very exhausted, but I need to film for tomorrow. So let's find our opponent. We're at 2038. We found Mr. Club, who's a 2048. And we have a Caro-Kann on the board. And I'm just going to say right now, just even looking at the screen feels so weird. Like, that's how long, it's been a few days since playing chess. I haven't even really done a whole lot of anything other than work and swimming, pretty much, enjoying the sun, all that good stuff, hitting the gym. So we see H3. They're trying to play for a system where they're not going to get pinned. I like to play G6 and put my bishop here, but I'm going to first castle, or I'm going to first develop the other knight and then play G6. We'll probably see some castles. I'm going to develop my bishop now, and they take, damaging my pawn structure, but this is actually what we want. Because now if they castle, we have the open G file. They haven't castled though, which is, not the best. Now here, I think I'm going to play just E6. We protect this. Now there is a pin, but we always wanted to play this anyways. So I think just bishop E7 now, getting rid of the pin on my queen. And, the knight's probably going to go here. Takes. If knight takes, then we have a very nice structure. They're bringing their queen out. So it looks like they want to castle this way. I'm going to first start with knight here. Just, they're going to trade. And let's see what they do with their knight. If they take, I'm very happy. But I have a feeling like they're going to castle. That is what I think they're going to do. But that hangs this pawn, so they can't quite castle just yet. And if they castle this way, we're going to be happy. So they have a tough choice here. They decide to jump in their knight, so they're threatening to take, and take. I don't really love that. But I can just protect with the rook. They can win this pawn if they want. Or I could just go here with the queen, kind of keeping eyes this way. I quite like queen c7. That way if they take, I can take with the pawn. And, it's still protecting f7. We're probably not going to castle this way, to be honest. Okay, we're going to take with the f pawn. Taking this way, I didn't like that there's some kind of d5 pushes, maybe. Potentially. Castles would have, all that good stuff. I like when I have this clamp. I just want to go rook g8 and try to attack this pawn. I'm also threatening to win a pawn if I were to castle or move the king, step the king up. Yeah, so they move back. If I go here, takes, though. Here, I guess I can play f6. Then I can go here. Yeah, let's actually play... No, not here, because then there's a fork. Maybe we're actually going to go queen e7. Just stopping the knight from coming in. I don't want to castle this way with the queen there, but maybe it's not so bad, actually. Maybe that's what I should have done. If they play knight here, I'll play queen c7. If they go knight back, I'll long castle. How about that? That sounds like a plan. Ooh. Wow. So they're going to go for it. So I guess long castles? Long castles here. I could short castle too. Do I love that? No. But honestly, just king h8 and bring the rook, I guess, this way. Yeah, now they castle, of course. But I'm just gonna go king h8 here, and we're gonna utilize the open G file regardless. So you waited to put your knight there, but I don't think it's gonna matter too much. I could play for this. Takes. Yeah, no. Can't quite do that. Maybe this is the way. If I go here, I don't really see how I'm going to get into the game. So I'm actually going to box in my rook and go for this. Their dark squares are very weak now. I can just take. They open up their rook, though. Do I love that? No. I could push. That's a free pawn. Let's just take. I don't want to allow them to take and then ruin my pawn structure like that. I'm going to put my knight here. We're controlling this square. Rook goes there. Okay, I'm going to commit to f5. If the knight comes in, we'll just snap take. But now this becomes a weakness. But now maybe knight here. If I can get the knight there with this really weak king. Yeah, I'm putting my knight on e4. My knight's going to e4 and good luck. I don't think you can really sacrifice here. That doesn't really make much sense. And this diagonal can't really be utilized, so maybe they're going to try and push the pawn. That could be an idea. They should probably try to open things up. That's what I'm thinking. Knight, like if they go here, I play knight here, takes is probably what I would do, but then they can take this pawn. Yeah, and they go for it too. So takes, they want to push, but I can just take that. So I'm going to capture. They take with the knight. I'm going to bring my knight in here. This is what we wanted. Forks are threatened if they move the knight. So if they decide to just jump in, we are going to win some material. But this diagonal is going to be very vulnerable, it appears, unfortunately. So they move the rook. Are they going to try and sacrifice maybe? Could be an idea. I mean, I'm thinking just queen g4 if takes. They want to argue that the knight's good, but I feel like we're just better here. If we bring our queen in, we attack the rook. So now this is not able to be moved, for one. And for two, this is just very, very weak. So I have ideas of like knight here now, attacking their knight with their rook under attack. Oh, yeah, they actually just made a huge mistake because we can take the rook with check. If they go here, yeah, they just resign. GG. We played with an 87.7. My opponent played with a 79.7. Just had a normal exchange Cairo Khan here where we play this out bishop f5 and damage our pawn structure, but we just get like a nice attacking position. It's not really like how you play the Cairo Khan all the time, but it's fun. I really like these kinds of positions here. They played very well. They traded and then went back, and I'm wondering, what was it that I was calculating that I maybe did? Castles, yeah. I realized after we could long castle here, and we're gonna just try to attack. And now there's no pin, so if they were to go here, we just take. But yeah, unfortunately we do that. And then short castles is actually the best move, which is kind of crazy to think about. But yeah, taking, what should we have done here? Should have played f5. I did consider f5, but I thought they just moved the knight and whatever. But then I guess we go knight d7. They take, and de. We have a passed pawn, protected passed pawn. Oops. But I'm happy with what I did here. We maneuvered. Taking was bad because I knew like the idea was to try and open up this diagonal, I think. What are we supposed to do? We're supposed to just go here anyways, and then if takes, we fork them. Fair. And then queen in, they just hung the rook with check. Sad life. Let's play another one. Okay, we found Muhammad. We have the black pieces again. D4. Well, I'm going to play the England Gambit, Chartlick style, just because I feel like it. It's not a good opening, but every so often I like to just play it. Why? I don't know. I just do. So the idea is that you're going to develop all your pieces and castle long with some ideas down this file, push the pawn, etc. And it looks like my opponent actually might know the best way to play here, which is to play for knight b5. So I'm actually going to stop the knight from going here because it's very annoying. And then I'm going to develop my bishop, develop the queen, live a happy life. Yeah, let's go ahead and pin the knight. And then we're just going to play queen e7. We don't really need to think too much here. Lone castle. And if they castle, now they have to be careful of this. So we're one move short. If this was the position, yeah, so they block. How do I go from here, though? Maybe h5. Just start trying to utilize this pawn. If they go here, we're going to sack the bishop, of course. What else would we do? We need to get our knight involved. Okay, knight moves. So there's some tension here. I could play this, threatening checkmate, forcing them to weaken their light squares. That is a potential. I can also take... Oh, but this is... I feel like there might be tactics here. Takes. Sucks that the knight is protecting. Threaten checkmate. I mean, forcing that move cannot be bad. So let's threaten checkmate. I guess they also have this move, which I completely overlooked, which is not good. Yeah. Oops. I guess I go here now. Yeah, I guess we just line up with the king. You can take, I'll take back. It's fine. And I'm okay with losing a pawn in this situation because of the open H file. It does weaken e4 quite a bit, so knight here could be an idea. But this knight's doing a very good job. And I'm threatening to win a pawn right now. Takes. And let's not forget about tactics here with the rook and the queen, but there's no check anymore. They do take. Interesting. I mean, I guess they're going to argue that they're just winning this pawn. I just developed my knight, though. I don't know. I don't believe in it. Do you really want this? Like rook g8 coming in? Like takes 97. If you leave the queen there, rook g8, and yeah, I mean. Do I take with the queen? Actually, yeah. Because now this pawn, this is a huge problem. Well, maybe. Maybe I'm full of crap. Also discovered attacks, let's not forget. So this is a threat to win the bishop. Well, win a pawn, I guess. Sacking the bishop. Okay, queen goes back. They want a queen trade. Of course they want a queen trade. They're up so much material. Like, why would you not want a queen trade? I definitely don't want to have a queen trade. So I'm thinking I'm just going to play here, but then maybe there's this move. And I just step up. Yeah, let's attack the pawn. They're going to protect it. And then I'll play queen b5. Ideas of maybe rotating the queen over here at some moments. I need to get this knight into the game. I'm also playing pretty quick, which is probably not the greatest. They're sacrificing the pawn. Fair. So I could go bishop here. If you go here... what do I develop? Push. I feel like development is key here. Just allow them to push the pawn, and then, I mean, I could take, and then if rook here, I just take another pawn. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to actually oblige. I forgot that the queens was there. Oh no. All right, I'm just going to resign. It's going to be a short video. We screwed that one up. I think we were doing pretty well until that moment. And pretty well is like pretty well for it being the England Gambit. Anyways, let's check it out. This is all book. Yeah, so like in this position here, I played a6 because if I develop like normal, sometimes they'll go after this bishop and it's very, very annoying. It's not what I want. I want my bishop there. And yeah, now we're actually better if we, is it just takes? Is it just takes? It is just takes. And if this, queen h4, and if g3, we first take, and then take the pawn in the center. Okay. And this is still not that bad, but yeah, I didn't even think about what happens here. Well, I knew that the rook was going to go here, but I just thought I take. I forgot that the queen was looking at b7. Unfortunate mistake, but it happens, so it is what it is. If you enjoyed the video, drop a like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.